You're listening to Little Rockers Radio, and today we are talking to Jennifer from Smayver, Making Savings Fun. Hi Jennifer, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah.
It's a pleasure. Now, you're passionate about financial education for families, both parents and children. Tell us, at what age should we start teaching our children about money?
Well, that's a good question. I'm asked that a lot, Sarah. Look, children mimic parents from a very early age, and it's very useful to start nurturing an understanding of your behaviours and beliefs around money, and you can do this from as young as one. Now, I know this might sound a little bit young, but 1-year-olds are listening to your language every day, and this is the crucial age where using simple statements will encourage an understanding of concepts and positive attitudes around money. So this is, I guess, we've heard of, language of love, and it's so true when it comes to the language of money. And I look back now when I was bringing up my two daughters, and I obviously was teaching them things from an early age, but I also realised just how young my beliefs and attitudes, I guess, kicked in. And talking things like, let's make a list for shopping, or mummy is making a list for shopping. I'm now saving for. Children understand and listen, and so we know that children start their language early, and just having positive language around the basic concepts is really important between 1 and 3. So even if kids aren't playing with coins, they're certainly watching you. Obviously, they know if mum loves to go shopping, or they might even know if mum loves to garden. So, children are learning and mimicking from very early age.
Yeah, that surprises me actually. I mean, I know that our children from a very early age learn from us and mimic our behaviours and our actions, but you don't necessarily make that assumption when it comes to financial literacy, do you?
No, and I guess children, when they're very young, even doing things like household chores with them, when they're young, they can't obviously take a plate to the sink or make their bed, but if they help you do these chores, that when they get the independence to do it themselves, they'll want to do it. Try making a 7 or 8-year-old to start making their bed if they haven't done previously. It's a lot harder, but these skills are developing a serving mentality, and this is obviously opposite to entitlement. So, and we're also nurturing the willingness to help around the home, which is going to be very useful when you introduce pocket money to them. And they're already used to helping around the home, and it's their mindset which really does help them in other areas of life as well. So I think it's very important to be very aware that money, it's not just, say, habits and skills, it's a mindset.
Okay, so they're learning, they're obviously learning from a very young age, from about the age of 1 onwards, but what's appropriate for what age? So what would we teach, say, a 2-year-old versus, say, a 5 or a 6-year-old?
Okay, well, like I said, the young ones, it's all around money language. It's also refraining from impulse purchases with your young children, because this is teaching them about how you spend money. So be mindful that if you're out and you get an ice cream or you're buying them a toy, link it to rewards. It's just not impulse buys. Yeah. This is when they're really young. Do the household chores with them from an early age. When they're 3, you can make money tangible, even just by seeing coins in a jar. You can teach them things like when the coins stack up, it's savings. What happens if you go and spend some money? It goes down. You can, play games doing it this way. When kids are, say, 5+, it's about introducing more practical examples. So connecting the fact that when you work, you earn money, which ties in with pocket money. And also just being aware of the difference between needs and wants, and incorporating it just in simple conversation with children. And I don't even like using the word money too much with my children, because I don't want them to feel as if I'm obsessed by money, or, it's all about positive language, saving, teaching them the importance of saving. And again, this is through pocket money systems. And when we do give our kids pocket money, it's not just about saying you can earn the money. They also have to learn that you need to spend less than you earn. And the balance is saving. Yes.
I find it really interesting that you mention entitlement, and I think that's probably how our children have changed over the last couple of generations, and that entitlement or serving versus deserving type of mentality. And I just find it interesting that it ties into this area as well. One of the other changes over the last decade or so is we're living now in the age of plastic cards. So how has financial education changed over the years, and how will it continue to change with banking moving forward? I mean, we'll be moving towards probably mobile banking, and I hear of children these days that don't really understand money at all. They think that it's just going around and buying things with your plastic card.
Yes, that's a very good point. So it can be very hard for kids to understand what they can't see, which is what you're saying. So shopping online, using cards with no physical cash, it does make it easier for kids to miss this learning opportunity around the value of money. I believe that as parents, we all have the knowledge and choice to be able to still utilise cash in our everyday lives. We don't have as many opportunities, but there are always, I think, opportunities to still use cash. For instance, in America, a lot of the financial educators over there are still very much pushing for using cash in everyday life, because it is proven when you use physical cash, you will spend less money. Saying that, parents are using online shopping all the time now, so it's balancing the benefits of technology and just being aware of what you know and making yourself intent on using teachable moments. And I also think that there are many benefits to online shopping. So, for instance, children can understand that you save time online shopping. It's also a learning opportunity that you can easily check and compare prices online shopping. So there are still educational opportunities here, and it's just making the best use of this. When you are online shopping, you've got more time to spend doing the things we enjoy. So it's just understanding how to balance this. If you have a little love of online shopping and you get, your shoes or handbags or clothes arriving, kids do learn. I've heard many parents say the kids just love all the boxes arriving. You don't have to let your children see all the boxes that are arriving because they just think they're arriving out of nowhere, right? And the other opportunity is, if you are going to buy something online, you can talk about it beforehand. You can still say, I'm going to save up, and then when you've got the money, you can still buy it. So it's just your buying behaviours. And I think as a parent myself, whenever I want to improve or teach my girls the way I want them to, this is a perfect opportunity for parents to analyse their own behaviour, because that is what children follow. It's behaviours. And it's a nice opportunity to learn a little bit more or understand what areas you have the strengths and weaknesses in. Because I think when it comes to financial literacy, I mean, even the word financial literacy just puts people off. But there are three elements around that. And I would say the first one are the skills and habits that you have. And the habit forming is so important, especially with young children. The second one, I think, is your mindset, which determines your decision making. And this really is the game changer in terms of creating the financial outcomes that you want. And the third one, which is really important, is time, because it's ongoing and it is constantly ongoing learning. So there is never any shame in actually saying, well, you know what, I think I'm spending too much money online shopping, or I know I buy my kids too many treats out. All these things you just have to become aware of as a parent and decide slowly over time what you can change. And that's the beauty. If you've got kids who are 2 or 10, you've still got so much time on your hands. And if you make 3 or 4 or 5 changes in 1 year, in 5 years, if your kids have picked up 15 habits, that's a success. And it takes time, but don't stress about it, or there's no shame in sort of thinking that some of the things you're doing might be impacting, the future for your children.
Now, you've recently launched the Smayver Saver Journal. Tell us a little bit about this and for what age it's perfect for.
Okay, sure. So the Smayver Saver Journal is a journal targeted for children 4 to 11, and it's a system parents can use to incorporate a pocket money system, and children then allocate the money that they've earned between give, save and spend. And I created the journal because I just wanted to create something for parents that would keep them accountable to be able to function with a pocket money or an allowance system that actually is consistent, and it's somewhere that you can work together with your children. They record their money earned or rewards on the saver charts in the journal, and it's also a place for them to write down what they're grateful for, what they're saving for. And every 4 weeks, there's a 4-week check-in, and this is when they can write down what they've earned or saving for. There's some sections to write money lessons and positive beliefs about themselves or money. And I used an Australian graphic artist, Amy Duncan, she's also an illustrator, to put all the creatives into the journal to make it something that's also fun and colourful for children to use.
Great. Okay. And you've got an offer for Little Rockers Radio listeners, have you?
I do, yes. That's correct. So I'd love to offer parents a $5 discount off the journal online, and also there's free postage involved. So you can find the journal on Smayver.com, which is SMAYVER.com, and when you're at the checkout, there's a code called LRR for Little Rockers Radio, and that gives you $5 off, and the normal retail price for the journal is $29.99.
That's great. Thanks, Jennifer. So I'll just stress that's $5 off and discounted or free shipping for those people who are in Australia only. For more information, you can visit, as Jennifer said, Smayver.com. All the links are also on our website at www.littlerockersradio.com.au. Thanks for joining us today, Jennifer.
Thank you, Sarah.
That was Jennifer Elliott from Smayver on Little Rockers Radio. Thanks for listening.